Timothy almost makes an incredibly dark decision in The White Lotus Season 3, Episode 5, with his reasoning linking to earlier elements of his storyline. Timothy has arguably been one of the main focuses of The White Lotus Season 3's cast, with his business dealings being perhaps the primary reason why. Timothy's crimes with Kenny in The White Lotus have raised a great deal of issues for the patriarch of the Ratliff family, despite him wishing to relax on a wellness vacation. In The White Lotus Season 3, Episode 4's ending, it was strongly implied that Timothy stole Gatok's gun from the security cabin of the titular hotel. This was confirmed in The White Lotus Season 3, Episode 5, with Timothy continuing to spiral given his dire situation. At the end of the episode, Timothy almost does something irreparable to escape his predicament, begging the question of why he does so. Timothy would rather kill himself than go to prison and face his family and society about his crimes. He wants to escape the consequences of his actions. Timothy looking down at a gun in The White Lotus Season 3, 2025. In the final scene of The White Lotus Season 3, Episode 5, Timothy is shown writing out a suicide note before attempting to use the gun he stole from Gatok to take his own life. As he is about to pull the trigger, Victoria awakens and interrupts him, but Timothy's intention is evident. Timothy wishes to take his own life as a means of escaping the consequences of the crimes he was involved in with Kenny Nguyen, as alluded to by Timothy's lawyer at the end of The White Lotus Season 3, Episode 4, he is likely to face jail time for his actions. The money laundering, bribery, and embezzlement that Timothy was involved in is seemingly too big to plead not guilty, yet Timothy said he would rather die than do otherwise. This explains why he stole the gun and tried to take his own life in The White Lotus Season 3, Episode 5. Timothy cannot bear the thought of facing his family, losing his business, and facing the rest of his high society after his crimes are exposed. Will Timothy still try to kill himself after being interrupted by Victoria? Timothy's future is less certain. Timothy praying in the dark in The White Lotus Season 3, 2025. Given that Victoria interrupted Timothy's suicide attempt in The White Lotus Season 3, Episode 5, the question now is what becomes of him in the future. Timothy could have taken the gun back out and attempted to take his own life again after Victoria left, but The White Lotus showed him throwing away his suicide note and leaving the gun in its hidden spot. After this, Timothy made an interesting choice that could hint at his future. Timothy began praying to God, begging for a solution to his predicament to show itself. This comes after he sang a popular Christmas hymn earlier in the episode, indicating that Timothy may turn to religion as a means of finding a way out of his crisis. Whether this manifests further in The White Lotus Season 3's final 3 episodes remains to be seen, but the implication is that Timothy's decision to take his own life has been reversed.